Euphoria. We covered the first episode of Euphoria.
First two, I think.
First two, by Sam Levinson. Drake, someone who's on the Hot 100 charts, is an executive producer of this show. Man, the finale wrapped up 2 nights ago, not when we were recording this, and for such a powerful and memorable season of television, that like the very end in that final episode felt very anticlimactic to me, and in a way it kind of colors the way I'm sitting with this show, but I don't think it takes away from the achievement that the first 7.5 episodes were, just because the ending maybe didn't land the way I wanted to. But how did you feel about Euphoria just in general? Then we'll kind of get into some more specifics.
Yeah, so I liked the show quite a bit. I thought the show was always incredibly engaging and visually striking at almost the whole time, and definitely seemed to really get into a groove as the season progressed through its 8 episodes. But yeah, the finale definitely caught me a little off guard. I thought there would be a little more tangible resolution or plot development. And I think there was still some things that did progress, certainly, in the finale. But I was a little taken back by the vagueness of some of where we left off. But overall, I'm very excited that the show was renewed for season 2 already, because I liked it a lot.
Yeah, and you talked about finding its groove, and I think one of the things that stood out about the show was the structure of each episode, where it started off with these real deep dives into some of the B characters. You know, they kind of got Rue and Jules out of the way early, but the cold opens about Maddie or about Kat, I thought, or Cassie, were all really, really intriguing and well done. And I thought that added a really cool structure to the show, because they're using this first 5 to 6 minutes to flesh out these characters, and you can then, I mean, it adds just so much depth to the show. Like you understand their decisions more, you understand their motivations more. This is really smart. And also, going back to what I said earlier, the style of the show, I think the cinematography, the lighting, the costumes all really stood out, and it felt like there was a real sense of, the show had a sense of what it wanted to do and who it wanted to be, which I think was really, really refreshing.
Don't forget the eye makeup, man. lot of love for the eyeshadow and whatnot.
Yeah, a lot of glitter. I don't know. I don't remember there being that much glitter in high school, but it's also 10 years after I graduated high school at this point.
Right. Well, you know, it's funny. I kind of had a call back to what we talked about. We talked about the first 2 episodes, where it's obviously a stylized portrayal of Gen Z high school experience today. It's not pretending. It's not lying to you about that. But I couldn't help but notice. I was like, when they had the prom in the finale, even though we kind of
was that prom.
I mean, that was some kind of prom, right? The problem was that we kind of had too many flashbacks and cuts to other scenes and other moments that it was a little jarring. But I think that was supposed to be a prom of some kind.
A dance,
taking pictures,
like a winter ball, maybe
summer dance, whatever. I thought it was a prom. The point is, it was a super unsupervised prom.
Yeah,
like this was a prom happening at the school that they go to, and there was not a teacher. There was hella fucking in the bathroom, hella smoking. Like that never happens at any prom. I just thought that was funny, but I don't care. I liked watching it.
No, yeah, the parents in this, I mean, I guess other than like Rue's mom and Jules' dad, sometimes, I mean, Kat's mom showed up in the very last episode, and she's basically wearing like a corset only to go to the prom, and she's like, "Yeah, you look great." It's like, what? I need you to step in here. Your daughter is literally like a dominatrix online, or I don't know if it's dominatrix. I don't know even how you
cam girl,
yeah. What characters or what stories did you enjoy the most following this season?
Well, I think the obvious highlight is the Rue, Jules friendship dynamic, codependence of their relationship. Seeing that play out and just get fleshed out due to the strength of Zendaya and Hunter Schafer's acting and their great chemistry. It was clearly the strength of the show, really kept the show going. They're the 2 main characters. That's kind of the focus of everything. Even though the ensemble is strong and we got to know most of that, as you said, the focus being Rue and Jules, I think, was smart because it was done so well and so convincingly, and just having this uh, relationship develop, and nothing's made of the fact that it's a LGBT relationship, the fact that it's certainly non-traditional, the fact that Jules is trans is not really a topic to explore, just kind of accept it, and they go into a little bit in her backstory. But I thought that was done really well, just because they kind of just subvert your expectations of where they want things to go. And even if this finale is suggesting that Rue perhaps has relapsed right at the end, as Jules has left her, it's tough to really know what they mean by this. Again, I thought it was a little vague for my liking. Their relationship throughout was just super compelling. And I think, again, the strength of the talent involved really sells it. So that's kind of what I want to see most moving forward, to see more of them, because they were so great.
Yeah, I mean, Jules and Rue were captivating, but I think the standout for a lot of people, or maybe like the MVP behind them, is Fez, played by Angus Cloud, which is funny because if you want to talk about like the Dion Waiters Award to take away from the rewatchables, I mean, he wins it without a doubt. Every time he's on screen, absolutely electric. I think he maybe says like 50 words all season, and still his presence is obvious. Whether it was the fentanyl scene with Rue and what's the drug dealer's name?
Oh, I don't even know. That scary fucking guy.
he's terrifying. Whoever plays him also excellent. And then also the scene between him and Nate was incredibly tense.
Yep.
And even in the finale, him having to go and steal money from somebody so he can pay off the drug dealer, and the guy trying to grab a gun during it, and the way he had to react, just really, really captivating every time he was on screen.
Yeah, I also really liked Sydney Sweeney as Cassie. Again, another character that has a lot of growth throughout, and both her coming to terms with who she is, how she feels about things, her relationship with McKay kind of goes its natural course, and I think she was a lot of fun, and also again pretty warm. You kind of learning that backstory about stuff with her dad and her once life of ice skating and things like that, right? And kind of similar to what they do for Maddie, someone who doesn't come off as very likable in the beginning due to her association with Nate, and it's kind of a standoffish nature with her friends and stuff. But then you kind of understand again where she's coming from, how she got to this point, and there's just a lot of shades of gray with a lot of the characters. I think, frankly, the only character that doesn't really have any shades of gray is Nate Jacobs, arguably the second most, or who is most detestable in the HBO summer season? Mary Louise from Big Little Lies, or Nate from Euphoria?
Oh, Nate for sure. Mary Louise had some good points, like when
crashing her car.
Yeah, and she's not even remembering driving at this point. Like she needed to be a better parent, that's for sure. But Nate is literally just like absolutely
blackmailing
just
people.
Person. Yeah, I mean, and the fact he continually gets away with things. The fact he like beat that guy's face into a pulp and then blackmails him into admitting to a sexual assault, and blackmailing Jules into supporting it is just all so like mastermind and crazy. And actually probably the most affecting moment with Nate for me was, and there was a lot of scenes that were tough to watch, but the last scene he was in where Eric Dane, his dad, like wrestles him to the ground because Nate is like trying to intimidate him, and then he just starts like losing his shit and like having a mental breakdown there on the floor and just like screaming with rage. It was really like unsettling, and I think just pointing more to that internal rage he has with the conflict with the sexuality and all of his family secrets. I thought the guy, the actor who played Nate,
Jacob Elordi,
yeah, I thought he was fantastic this season. As was someone that doesn't get a lot of shine, Maud Apatow, who played Lexi, and maybe the most subdued role of the season. I guess maybe Rue's mom is a little bit more on the sidelines, but Lexi I mean, she protects her sister from McKay in that episode. She's there for her during the abortion. She helps Rue figure it, like solve the detective stuff. Um, Lexi's a underappreciated character in the show. She's also the most normal, the one I can relate to the most. So
Yeah,
I
good
appreciate
girl.
her. I wanted to go. I want to talk a little bit about the style of the show because I think the moments people that probably stood out the most were the most non-traditional, or the ones that kind of
Oh yeah.
stood out. What were your favorite ones in that sense?
Yeah. Clear answer for me. I believe it was the second to last episode, episode 7. It's the one where Rue's figuring out uh, the master
Detective
plan
Rue.
that Nate had or was doing, connecting all the dots, but it's done as if she's in like a hard boiled detective noir film.
Mm-hmm.
And like she has like the outfit and everything. She's got the gun holsters on, chain smoking at 3 a.m. Like I was laughing and just incredibly entertained the whole time. Because again, Zendaya um, is quite restrained a lot as Rue, given who Rue is. But we know how talented she is as a performer. So the fact that she can kind of turn it on for a second there and do something a little different
Yeah,
was cool. But again, like they sell it because the set design of that, again, stuff that's just in the head, uh, is done so convincingly. It looks so great. So yeah, that was my clear choice for that.
yeah, and the dick pic presentation is another one that really stood out this season. It was hilarious,
It
but
really just matters how you take the picture, to be honest.
but what I found, I think what I liked more about the detective one, and I agree with you, that one stood out to me as well, was the way it interplayed with things that were actually happening. It's supposed to like mimic this manic episode that she's having as she's figuring all this out, and the way she's like interacting with her mom throughout it, and just like other people, and they were just like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm on a roll. Don't stop me." And like just kind of like move on, like keep talking through things. It was just really really well done. Um, yeah, I think the show can continue to take more and more chances. Um, something I thought was a uh, really cool scene was in the second to last episode when Jules goes to that rave or dance party, whatever it is. I thought the way that they were cutting between Rue's, I think it was a kidney infection, and how she was like dealing with that, and Jules and what she was struggling or what she was going through at that time, almost like her self enlightenment in a sense,
Right.
was really well done. Like the intersplicing in the music in it, and also kind of pulling in like Nate as this like shadowy figure kind of over everything was just really really masterfully done.
Yes, I mean, speaking of music in general, probably chalk this up to Drake's EP credit, but man, the soundtrack was phenomenal from the
Yeah.
start, man. I mean, I remember the first time I was like, oh, wait a minute, they're fucking going for it. They had Megan Thee Stallion, but they had Too Cocky from Tina Snow
Mm-hmm.
last year. They didn't have any of the new stuff. They didn't have something as obvious as Big Old Freak, right? And
Yep.
you're in that as all the kids are just fucking going ham in like the minivan.
Yep.
Super good. And then even like there's like more ambient stuff like Doja Cat's Juicy's just kind of playing in the background in a scene.
Mm-hmm.
Too Short comes in on the finale. Tons of great drops, but they're also like really spliced in great moments. I know sometimes there will be shows that they feel the need to fill all the white noise with music. I didn't find that the case with Euphoria, even though there was a lot of music. I feel like it all landed pretty well. Did you have any thoughts on the music? Because I think it's overall just an impressive group of modern songs. You don't see that often.
Yeah, the music drops were really really well done, and I actually think they mixed in a lot of like older stuff too effectively, like a song for you playing at the end of the finale. I think they had a Motown song in like the sixth or seventh episode that really stood out to me. But I knew that the music in the show was going to be excellent when in the first episode at the party they had Jamie XX playing Good Times, and I was like,
Yes,
okay, they know what they're doing here.
they know.
Yeah, that was the first time. But yeah, even like for having Drake as the executive producer to only drop one Drake song and have it be nonstop and have it fit perfectly into like the mood of that scene, like leading up to the Euphoria intro, just phenomenal.
Right.
Really can't speak to those choices enough. I wanted to ask you, were there any choices or any characters this season that you didn't really like, that didn't work for you?
Um, No one I didn't really like. I think there's certainly characters I want to see more from. I think that Ethan is really just there to be interacting with Kat the whole time. I'd like to see more of that.
Hmm.
Obviously, Lexi Maud Apatow, as you said,
Yep.
a lot of meat on that bone. You figure.
Hmm.
Even Kat in general. I think the camming stuff, which starts pretty early in the season, after she avoids a sex tape scandal, right? Um, I mean that was certainly a shocking thing. I thought it was effective, but I don't know if she really. It was kind of like supplemental to the arc she was on the whole time.
Hmm.
So I'm looking forward to them perhaps continuing, her newfound relationship and who she was, and maybe we can avoid the shocking stuff because I feel like the camming stopped adding stuff after a while.
Hmm.
But this is a minor gripe. Um, I'm curious to see if McKay comes back.
Yeah.
It did feel like we had a pretty succinct arc for him, him himself. Obviously, uh, Cassie's her own aspect to this, but maybe maybe he drops out. I don't know, but if he didn't return, I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, and then Fez, obviously, as you said, and his brother. Um,
Yeah.
just,
Ashtray.
I mean, heck, we didn't get a cold open about Fez.
I know.
We didn't get that voiceover, learning more about that, and you could do a lot with that. And again, Sam Levinson is he wrote everything for this season and directed a lot of it, and he definitely will not shy away from the experimental thing. So maybe you could, I don't know, there's a lot of options. So
Yeah.
just looking forward to seeing it. We don't have a production start date yet, so no guarantee it comes back next year, but uh, we'll be watching for sure. And I think this show definitely has more highs to hit. I think like thematically there are more things we can try and achieve. But even if this was just like S tier skins, it was fucking good.
Yeah, really good. Also, just quick, Fez feels as good as gone for next season, right? Like he's gonna die at some point.
Yeah, it's tough to see a happy ending for someone like him, right? Uh,
Yeah.
just got to rope us in a little bit more first before they kill him.
Yeah. Anyways, Euphoria. If you haven't watched or if you're not caught up, please do so.